So this is one of the most iconic views in the world. And for most of my clients, it's not just about buying a home in San Francisco. It's about living in a neighborhood like this one, Russian Hill, where you can step outside of your door into a park like this one. You have access to amazing cafes, parks, restaurants. You also have these views that people fly from all over the world to see. But there's a hidden technicality that is causing some deals to fall apart. And in a fast-moving market, it's actually really easy to miss. And some buyers are losing their entire deposit, which could be $50,000 or $100,000 or even more. It's 3% of the purchase contract. And in some cases, the deal is falling apart altogether. So today, I'm going to show you how my team helps our buyers make sure that they keep their deposits and helps our sellers make sure that those deals don't fall apart. I'm going to walk you through all the technicalities to look out for in the disclosure package so that doesn't happen for you. And also, a few weeks ago, I was over here a block away at a new development. And one of the things that I was talking about is that a reason to buy a new development in Russian Hill as opposed to some of the other inventory is to avoid these $10,000 to $20,000 a year assessments that often happen in these older buildings. But there is a special piece of inventory in between that, and that's going to be like a 2 to 3 unit building. And there's a lot of those. So I'm going to walk you through one of those today. It's an amazing listing that we have, and it has just an awesome, you guys, wait until you see this view. So let me fill you in a little bit on where I am. So right now I'm in Francisco Park. This is one of our newer parks in San Francisco. It was developed in 2022, and it used to just be this big concrete reservoir. And the neighborhood got together and they spent a long time raising money to bring this park to what it is today. So it has some great lawns. There's a really great playground back there. There's a super nice dog park actually right down below us. And then there's also, there's a community gardens here, which is pretty nice. But let's get back to the issue at hand. So January 1st, there was a law that was passed. Now keep in mind, this is a law that I first heard about back in 2020 when I was selling one of these big buildings during COVID. Oh my gosh, flashback. And at that time, there was nothing really published about it. And basically the city kept, I don't know if it's the city or the state, I think it's the city, but they kept moving the deadlines and moving the deadlines. They didn't really have it together. They just knew that they wanted balconies and decks to be inspected in these older buildings to keep people safe, right? Now, the big buildings, they didn't have reserves established for these. The smaller ones didn't either, but the cost of fixing a smaller deck versus a larger one is very, very different. I think part of the reason why it's missed is because it's been on the radar, off the radar, on the radar, off the radar. But right now what's happening is that the law is in effect, but the city is not massively enforcing it at this time. HOAs don't really seem to be super aware of it, especially the smaller ones. Department of Real Estate does not require it as a document to close, but here's what's happening is that the lenders are requiring it. They're requiring these special inspections, and these aren't the pest inspections or the contractor's inspections that are a normal part of a disclosure package in San Francisco. You have to get a specific certified professional that does this inspection, and then they file something specifically with the city to say that it's been done, and the lenders are requiring it. And a lot of times what I'm seeing out there on the ground, because my team and I are doing a couple of deals a week, is that it's not being done as part of the pre-disclosures. It's just not part of people's processes yet. And so get this is what could happen, and this is what is happening. So buyers get into contract and they write a fully non-contingent offer. That's very common in San Francisco because they're competing with 10 other offers. We had a deal that we did last week in the marina. There were 12 offers that showed up on this condo. And so they're waiving all contingencies. And then they are not aware that this is needed. The realtor was not aware that it was needed. The HOA was not aware that it was needed. And then their lender contacts them and says, we need this report in order to close. And so there's a mass scramble. It's not a big deal. It's $800 to $1,000 to get the report, but you have to get the person booked, get them out there. And then if there is significant damage or safety issues, the lender won't lend. So now, picture this, you're in contract, you need a loan, and your lender is telling you, I can't give you one. You're calling all of these other banks. They can't give you one either. So guess what? Your deposit is on the line. So this is, for buyers, like horrible. They lose their entire deposit. And for sellers, also horrible because they don't really want your deposit. They want to close the home. So there are just a lot of these little things that can come up. And I'm gonna show you a couple other ones when we walk into this condo. Oh my gosh, you guys, just look at this view up in front of us. So right now, just so you know where we are on Bay Street and we're getting ready to cross down. So last week I was here filming in this new development right here, which actually runs right on Larkin. And then they have another building that's also on the other side, which is probably the side that I showed you in that video. But there's a lot of different kinds of construction. That new construction is very, very rare. And then the bigger buildings, what happens in those, which is what I was talking about in that video, if you were in contract on one of those really large Spanish, Mediterranean, we're talking there's 40, 50, 100 units, even if there's 25. The way that decisions get made in those HOAs is very different than how they're made in smaller HOAs. So they will meet once a month or once a quarter to vote on whether or not things need done. So if you get into contract on something like that, and then you find out that you need this report, well, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to wait to convene a meeting, vote on it, and trust me, getting this stuff through those big buildings, oh my gosh, they're not in a hot rush to help someone sell their condo, right? Because for them, they're just thinking, this is a lot of headache for me. We'll get to this, we have to get to this, but we're not trying to get to this to close this deal for this one person. So that's how those deals, that's how those deals really fall apart. So on those big buildings, you guys, please, please, please make sure that you're making sure that these reports are there so that you have them to give to your lender and you can find out whether or not you can get the loan. Better yet, if you're gonna be writing a non-contingent offer, give it to your lender in advance whenever they're taking you through that underwriting process. Because when a lender is underwriting you, they are not underwriting the building. They are underwriting you. So in order to make sure that they are going to be able to get the loan in these kind of special circumstances, you need to make sure that that's okay. So there's things like that come up on condos, whether it's litigation that's happening, or even if you're underwritten, there sometimes are specific things on that condo that we need to run by the lender in advance. If you're not working with an agent that's doing a couple of deals a week, you could see how these things are just easy to miss because there's a lot of different kinds of inventory in San Francisco. And so the chances of if you're only doing a deal a month or something, or a couple deals a month, the chances of you understanding all of these things, having a protocol in place for all these things, pretty low. All right, let's check out this unit. Okay, we are at my listing at 844 North Point, and you guys wait until I show you these views. But before I do, I always like to tell you something cool, bring some value here. If you like value, subscribe. Oh, also, I'm back every Monday at 5 p.m. So if you like these kinds of videos, come back then. But this, okay, have you ever had a cherry floor? Look at these floors. These are actually cherry. I hate cherry floors. I don't like anything red. Don't like red tinted paint, like yellow that has red undertones. Hate red floors. Everybody hates red floors. If you like them, I'm sorry, you're entitled. We finally found the right process. Feel free to comment because I don't remember what it is. I think it's a bleaching and then a very specific color that makes this not look like cherry, which is amazing, and I love it. So you have 2 bedrooms in here. This is your first bedroom. It's good size. You've got some nice built-ins here, little storage here. This is a full, but you could put a bigger size bed in here. Love this light fixture. I'm sure you've seen us use it before. We're a big fan. I always like oversized lights. Good size closet. And then coming back here, you have the primary, which is an ensuite king bed. Really nice light coming in. You have a view here. You get a little sneak peek of the view that we're gonna see the bigger view later, but you can wake up and look out at Alcatraz, which is amazing. And North Point is a busier street, but it's actually really quiet in here with the double pane windows. You have your closet here, which is good size. It's walk-in. You've got kind of both sides, which is great. And then there's a little more storage on this side. And then you have double vanities, which is nice. Now, this bathroom and these kitchens, they were actually done not by my seller, but they were done without the permits being closed. And so I tell you that because I always like to give some value here and like, should you be freaked out if permits aren't closed? Yes and no, it depends on when they weren't closed, right? If you're buying a place and it was just redone for sale and the permits are not closed, that is a huge screaming red flag. But for permits to be pulled and then not closed out like 20 years ago, most people aren't super worried about that. There's a bath here. I'll come back to that in a minute because I want to show you. Check out this, you guys. Oh my gosh, this view is crazy. So beautiful. So you've got full head-on views of Alcatraz and the water, and you've got this amazing deck here, which is right off of the main space. So you've got this amazing deck right here, right off of the main space, where you can come out here. I feel like I would maybe like move the couch in this direction, even though it would kind of cut off the traffic flow. But I want to be looking there. I mean, clearly I could pull some of these chairs over here and look there. But I just want to be dead on looking at this, which I can do for my living room or my dining room or my kitchen as well. So we talked about permits. I want to make sure that you guys understand the deck situation. So it's not on every building where it's going to come up as a big issue. It's only whenever there's life and safety issues or something that's really substantial, but the inspection has to be done if there's a loan on anything that's 3 units or over. And I will tell you, of the transactions that we're reviewing right now on condos, 90% of them don't have it. So just look out for that if you have a loan. And then if you're looking in a really big building, look really carefully and make sure you have it and it's reviewed with the lender prior to writing an offer. I think that's super key. And then in terms of the different kinds of inventory in Russian Hill, you got to see the new development that I showed you before. You get to see this one, which is very different. And then, like I said, there's those very large, and they're gorgeous, you guys. They have center courtyards. I mean, they really pull on the heartstrings. And I have clients who live in them like eyes wide open, are open to the special assessments and stuff like that. But we really drill in on those disclosure packages to help our buyers understand like the unforeseen things that could be coming up year over year, and kind of reviewing back over how many special assessments has this had over the last 10 years? Like, is this something that's happening every year? The good thing about big buildings is that they're required to do reserve studies. So when you have a reserve study, you really do have a lot of control in terms of understanding the unforeseen costs. They shouldn't be that unforeseen, right? The good thing about a smaller building like this one is that it's a little easier to work with 3 people, keep it managed super tight. And if you want to protect your investment, a lot of times that's going to be the kind of choice that people will make. But there's all different kinds of inventory. It depends on what you like. So one thing that's really crazy is that 70% of you are watching this on TV, which is crazy. It's probably kind of hard to subscribe on TV, but it would mean the world to me if you would hit subscribe. Also, if you're interested in other neighborhood content, head over to our website where we have tons of content broken out by neighborhood, by video, and we have lots of buyers giving us feedback off YouTube saying that it is the best resource that they've ever seen. If you're interested in a neighborhood that's super, super close by to here, we did this video on North Beach, which is a really super cool neighborhood, and you should check it out.